Hi everybody and welcome to Diman Regional Vocational High School. Not bad, huh? Martha Leone, who is our great superintendent director here, and of course we have with us Kim Bonas and Lynn Sullivan. We're going to talk about a lot of things, but one of them we're here for actually is to take, as Diman should take credit in its presence in the community. It's a beautiful school and it keeps trying to expand. It has an overflowing population of young boys and girls, and I'm sure there'll be more coming. But there's a lot of things that are going on. But this Saturday, we're having a house and it was a home and garden?
Bristol County Home and Garden Show.
The third Bristol County Home and Garden Show, right?
Absolutely.
Third annual.
Annual, I'm sorry, third annual. And there are, you were talking about earlier, said there's 50 particular exhibits that go
50
on.
vendors that are going to be
And
there.
how, what would you call a vendor? What?
Oh, they range from plumbers to electricians to garden companies, landscapers. We have contractors, we had people, Home Depot, you know, for instance. But
now, the students, they participate in all of this? Or is it
the
just
Diamond
the garden?
students, it's a garden show for vendors.
I got it. Okay.
We get a lot of assistance with having it here at Diamond, and you know, thanks to Marty. It's a fantastic place to have it. It ties in with the students going right into like shops and, you know, electricity and plumbing and stuff like that. So I think it's a great venue to have it at. We do have our PTO that gets involved, and they cook days on before, and they sell the food to the vendors and the people coming in, refreshments.
And
they
lunch.
Raise money in lunch.
Oh, good.
Yeah, Marty's husband even cooks.
Is that right? You roll it out there, huh?
Yes, very well, I might add. And I think it's a way for them to make money, you know, for the students here at Diamond as well.
It also gets you to participate in everything that goes on. That's the one thing I think about the school has been that the students and the parents participate greatly, as I know that you have been in a million things and your children went through here.
Actually, I still have 2 here.
They still have 2 here, okay. So actually we've done it, you're still going on with that.
One of the fun things about the Home and Garden Show also is when we put out the little placards that say owned and operated, or that it's managed or something by a Diamond graduate. You really get a sense for how many of our local businesses are connected to Diamond. Either they're owned by a Diamond graduate, they're managed by a Diamond graduate, or a large portion of their workforce are Diamond graduates.
You know, as you know, before you got tenure here, we set up a classroom at a studio that we run on the waterfront, which Diamond students really remodeled an 1810 building, you know, the same, you know, and we used to have classes like, you know, our classes, they'd come on a certain day and they would do certain things, which is fun. But pizza day was always Thursday. Now what happened was the kids that would come back on a Wednesday would tell every other kid that you should have your electrical department. And I'd go there on a Thursday, and there'd be about 5 buses, and I would say,
How come there's so many kids on Thursday?
oh, I thought you wanted to have the plugs fixed. Next thing you know, we had pizza parties. And I think that this is heartwarming, is that we did this for like almost 2 years. And at the end of the first year, it was their last day. And they were at the window of the bus.
Yeah.
So,
well,
they're great kids.
The Home and Garden Show is really an exciting opportunity, not only for Diamond, but for the community as a whole.
Absolutely.
As Kim was saying, we have right around 50 vendors who are going to be there, and they do represent a broad range of home improvement and home gardening projects for homeowners, which I know I always enjoy it. This is the 3rd year that we have done it. Now, I think before that it was a joint venture and it was not necessarily held here, and so this is a great opportunity.
This is the first year here?
No. We've never in this area ever had a home and garden show.
I see.
A lot of our vendors participated into home shows that some of our closest towns used to have, like New Bedford has one. 3 years ago, the chamber partnered with Diman and the Herald News and the Taunton Daily Gazette.
Yeah.
To be able to do one in our community to highlight
move.
our area businesses. It's a way to highlight them, it's a way to let the local community know what's out there.
You know, Diman statewide, better than that, but Diman is probably the most charitable school for projects in different communities around the state.
Not only while the kids are in session, I mean, they do a lot for the community. I mean,
Absolutely.
I know the mayor's talked about it several times about, you know, kids that have done so much in the community.
Yep.
But I think they also, it's a different group of students. It's students that do things on their own, volunteer, you know. You see so many of them in so many different places that just offer their time, you know, because they have a trade and they want to help out.
You know, when you think of the MCAS, you think of the MCAS, which is, you know, sort of crippled, not crippled, but I mean, it's, you know, had the kids involve themselves into having to have split personalities in order to do the MCAS and do the shops. This is our best rated school around with the MCAS and still having the shops and splitting the school year. Anyway, that's not just something because Martha's sitting here. That's an actual fact. If you look and say, of all the things, Kim, Lynn, Martha, that the school has done, its children have done, its students have done, its instructors have done throughout the state for different projects or advised on different projects, you would find that this school is number one. I'm serious, I'm dead serious. And I know that she is, as we all are, trying to get Diman to make room for the overflow population.
Yeah, the MCAS scores and also the Student Success and Skills USA, both at the regional, state, and national levels, that really is the result of a lot of hard work by the teachers and the staff here that support those activities, and just the commitment that the students are making to, like you said, doing two things, making a commitment both to their academics and to their vocational areas. And as a school and as staff, we really appreciate the support that both the chamber gives and the newspaper gives us.
Necessary, very, very necessary. And there's so much that goes on here that it's kind of tough to, you know, to trap any of it at one given time. But it has, like I said earlier, the props that you can go, you know, get people vocationally set up with the vendors that go to. I know that we had to store them when we were building the shop. There wasn't one vendor that I couldn't go to get parts that the students needed that didn't have credit, good credit anywhere around here. That, you know, we were buying the parts to fit everything in. To me, it's always been amazing. And I'm a Durfee graduate, you know what I mean? And so, no, look at
We'll forgive you.
No, and so, I mean, you know, a lot of people don't, but I mean.
Hey, I didn't graduate from either one of them, but I feel like I'm part of Diman. I'm here all the time.
Well, I can remember back, way back, I go back, I hate to age myself, but I go back a long time, and how it has grown. It's amazing how it has grown with Father Diman's vision, and going to these particular point, Martha, you know what I mean? And how it's now co-ed, big time, and how, you know, you have to change programs all the time. You have to fit the needs of the young ladies that come to the school. It's a struggle, and you got to find how to wade into it and still expand. But I think it would be great if Diman could get some little help in trying to get to that particular point. Whereas I think you need intervention where they come in here and say, hey, listen, this is a trade school. The people who work here could build you a school.
I was going to say, and they do.
The people who work here could build you a school. You know, and you could go, we've done a number of things together, wind farms, tax write-off, whatever the case may be, in order to get people, you know, to that society that looks for, you know, to snub local aid or, you know, that kind of thing. I mean, the building fund. But I know that you work hard at it. I know you have a lot of things going on here, Marta, and I'd like to take this opportunity to give you a lot of credit for that.
Well, thank you.
Because it's not an easy job, you know what I mean?
And we do it, what we do, like I said, the faculty and staff really work very hard for our students to have the success that they have.
Yes.
And we also couldn't do it without the level of community support that we have from our sending communities, from organizations like these. It's a community effort, it's a group effort, and it's a team effort.
Well, I think it shows, like you said, you know, when you're doing those signs for the home show, and
Mhm.
how many of our companies that are there,
Wow.
that Marty said, you know, Diamond graduates, you know, people that own companies, you know, and that are back here, you know, trying to highlight their business that they learned from Diamond.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, Marty came up with that idea last year about putting plaques on everybody's table that were Diamond graduates, and we were like mesmerized as to
And
how many people really.
Was there anybody who was there, wasn't a Diamond graduate?
A few.
A few.
But, but they felt very bad.
Oh, I bet they did.
We forgive them.
I remember the first time, I go back and the nostalgia here, when I first got elected, I sat next to an Irish legend by Paul Michael Feeney in the House. And Paul Michael Feeney said to me, and I'll never forget this, he said to me, "I'll tell you, this is the greatest job you'll ever have if you didn't have to vote." So there you go. But it's a great tribute. So we have 50 exhibits.
Correct.
We have.
I do want to mention that, I mean, not only are we highlighting our exhibitors, but the admission is free. That's the biggest thing.
Yeah.
You know, because of the support that we had gotten from the Herald News, the Taunton Daily Gazette, and Diamond, we're able to keep this free for the community.
Yeah.
You know, so instead of them spending their pocket dollars and coming to a show, they can put it towards, you know, remodeling, and that's what we want.
Yep.
We want to enhance the business community, because if they do well, everybody else does well. You know, there's job openings for the students because they're doing well.
Are we selling anything?
There are a few
Food?
vendors, well, obviously the PTO is selling the food,
Yeah.
but there are a few of them that will be selling stuff. There'll be a lot of raffles going on. There's just a lot of information. Lynn
Also
can
the-
explain some of the seminars as
Yeah,
well.
the seminars.
Yes,
that we have.
during the show, since the first year even, we've had seminars over a variety of things. We've got, you know, a chef that comes in, our columnist, Chef Femi Khalifa. He'll come in and show you, this year he's going to show you how to make perfect pasta. Amy Del Giaco, she's a well-known fitness trainer in the area. She was one of the founders of the Fall River Fitness Challenge. So she's going to come in and show you how to make things that you love, just a little bit healthier. But we've got a seminar by Flint Armament about gun ownership. I mean, it's something that people have in their homes. Let's do it responsibly and safely. And then I know, you know, it's the weather's starting to change. You're getting in the mood to be outside, and you know, you start to think of being outside more, and how can you make your yard into a place where everybody wants to hang out.
Yep.
So we've got decorative landscapes coming in to do that. And then the reality, you know, doing yard work can be tough on your body.
Yep.
So we've got Westport Chiropractic coming in to you know, some do's and don'ts about weeding and, you know, shoveling and digging and stuff. So all throughout the day,
And
spread
again, it's
throughout.
free.
Free.
Free is good.
Yes,
Which is
absolutely.
great.
Well, we do ask for a monetary donation. Anybody that makes a donation goes into the local holiday charitable fund that the Herald News is responsible for. So that goes right back into the
Oh, that's
community.
the Christmas.
The holiday fund, yeah,
Exactly.
goes to the Salvation Army and
Well, is this anything you add? There's a million stories we could do.
I know. But the big story today is the Home
Oh
and
my
Garden
God.
Show.
Oh my God, show. Well, first of all, number one is I've been active with Kim for a long time, and always very active. And Chamber has really played a big role in a lot of things that happen in this community. And certainly you can't go without saying that the Herald News has really stepped up its whole type of advertisement, its embrace of a community for different issues, and especially its educational prowess. You know what I mean? And that has been important. It's certainly very important. You can't go anywhere without an education today.
I think everybody's working together a little bit more now, Tom. You know,
I think so.
making
I think,
things happen.
Yeah, absolutely. I think everything is on a platform, and it'll continue to do it. Lonnie's done a great job here, and you people, of course. So
Starts with the kids and ends up with the business community. So
that's right, and that's where they're going.
absolutely.
You know, how many people are going to be authors and poets? Not too many. How many are going to be plumbers and carpenters? Many, many, many.
And it's also nice that so many of the jobs that we prepare students for here are the ones that really can't get shipped overseas.
Yep.
And the vendors that are coming in to the Home and Garden Show are from our local community. They're the ones that live here, that pay taxes here, and that are here to work with our residents and our communities, 7 days a week, 365 days a year.
Many of them employ co-op students,
Yeah,
so
oh, yeah,
which is a
yeah.
great thing.
One of the things I'd always think from the television point of view was to have Beyond Food Jet, culinary arts.
Yep.
Because they're excellent. Couldn't live with it. So we thank you for, thank all three of you. You know, when you talk about schools, schools and schools and schools, but this school is one of the better schools you'll find in the entire, well, I wouldn't say the country, not quite, but pretty close. The vocational education is wonderful, the academics are terrific. They show that, they compete in the MCAS with everybody else, and they don't fail. They don't fail anybody. They place when they get out, they're happy when they're here. And we have a leader here in Martha who wants to keep that way. We thank the Herald News greatly for their participation and all the things that they do for all the people of this community and surrounding community. And for Kim, who's always been in the limelight of all the things that go on, and a dear friend of mine, we thank all of them for helping to make the House and Garden Show its 3rd annual Bristol County House and Garden Show, 50 exhibits, and we want to see you there on the 16th of March, one day before St. Patrick's Day.